Hello, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the new Akai Desktop Software Beta 3.5 again, but today, no MPCs. Let's jump in. Okay, so this came about after a few conversations with people, questions in forums on my channel, etc. Conan, what do I do if I don't own an MPC? Can I still use the software? What if I want to just take my laptop on a train and just make beats, or on an airplane, just make beats? What if I'm just using a MIDI controller with my laptop and I don't have an MPC? So what I'm going to do today, obviously there's loads more to the software, but today I'm just going to go through really quickly, chopping up a beat in just the software, just using a QWERTY keyboard, no MIDI controllers, no MPCs, nothing, just a mouse, just a QWERTY keyboard. Okay, so we've got the software open. We'll just load this project. It's just my clean slate project. Sorry, that was my dog sneezing. I don't know if you could hear that. You okay down there, mate? It's got a little bit of a kennel cough or dog cold today. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, right, so we've got software open. I've got the file browser open here. I just want to go to desktop because I've got a beat already on there. There we go. Now, if we go Control 4, that opens Sample Edit. If you hover over the options up here, it gives you the shortcuts next to it. So Control 4, Sample Edit. Down here, if you're familiar with MPC, then you'll know this. If not, I'll run through it quickly. Each individual pad on the MPC when you're chopping has a different function. I normally use play from start when I'm on my MPC, and if I want to stop, I just double tap the stop button on my MPC. Now that's a little bit more difficult because I don't have an MPC in front of me. I've just got my QWERTY and my mouse button, and it doesn't seem to work if you double tap space or anything like that. If anybody else knows a different way of doing it, please tell me. So what I'm finding is if you start, you have to quickly come up here and double tap the stop button. Okay, so I don't really like having to do that jumping about. So I've been finding on the software, it's easier, just use your mouse button and do that. That's what I've been doing. What I do need to do quickly is just tune this down. See this tune here? Because otherwise I think YouTube's probably going to pick me up on this beat because it's quite well known. Quite well known. B-Boy Break, classic. Should be okay now. They might still flag me. Anyway, so this is the trim window, and what we want to do is we want to chop it up. So if we go into the chop window, now as per the MPC, you have different options to chop up. You have manual, which is what I'm going to show you today. You have threshold, and this will split it up depending on the transients, etc. You can change the level of the threshold to do absolutely loads if you want. You've also got regions, which will split it up equally. And you can change how many regions you have, and then you have BPM. I want to do it manual, so I need to clear all these slices. So if you just hit this minus all, goodbye slices. We'll go back into manual. We've tuned it down, and literally all I need to do is just click on these as the beat plays, the same way you would hit your pads on the MPC if you own an MPC. So you have to be quick with your mouse. Just quickly, I'm using a PC, it's Windows 11, it's above average. I wouldn't say it's a super fast laptop, but it's my walkabout laptop. It's decent, it's you know, it's okay. There's no latency between me hitting the left mouse button and these slices being made. So I don't know, it's going to depend on your computer, on how quickly, or if you have any latency, what interface you're using. There's so many variables involved, but just to let you know, I'm using Windows 11. So any shortcuts I might give you as well, they're going to be Windows shortcuts. So there we go. We've basically chopped that up into 8. And I'm going to go through the same process that I do when I'm chopping up beats. I'm going to hit 0 snap. And I'm just going to make sure that the start is all in the right place. You can already see actually that some of these are off. But what I'll do is I'll go through them. And we can zoom in. Just drag across here. Just take that back a little bit, maybe. I think it's probably about there. Let's take that one forward a little bit. That one back. That one back a little bit. Just doing this very quickly, so it's not super accurate. And then I just want to go through the ends, basically. Okay, so let's just zoom out, and I want to unlink the slices because I don't want to change the ends and then it affect the start of the next sample. So unlink slices, and I want to get rid of the little clicks at the end. Tiny little bit more. A little bit off there. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this quick. This is not super accurate. You can hear that little like click at the end. That one's got quite a big one. You can see that. It's going to take that right off. Actually, I haven't got the start on 8 right at all. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so that. Let's just zoom in on that start again. Yeah, that looks all okay. So there we go. There we have it. That's that chopped up. So you literally go to slice to pad and it will bring up this window, which if you're familiar with using the MPC, you'll know. But if not, I always go to new drum using slices. I always go pad parameters. I have made a video about the difference between these two if you want to check that out. And then you hit do it and you're done. Now, if we go into here, we're now on the grid. I can hit P for pen, and I can just quickly put these in. Excuse me if these are off. I'm guessing this is around about 110 BPM because I've slowed it down a little bit. The original's about 114 if I seem to remember. All right, that's good enough. It's not spot on. So another thing that you would do quite often when you're chopping up as well is just sometimes you get little gaps or little glitchy kind of sounds or kind of to the chop. So one thing that you would do is you would go into track edit or program edit, depending on what you want to call it. It's called track edit now. And you would want to add tails, which basically takes the minute part at the end of the sample and loops it back on itself. And it just makes everything sound a lot smoother. Now, I'm going to quickly go through this just purely because initially when I opened this up and I was on track edit and I was like, oh, where is the tails thing? And I was scratching my head for ages. Now, if you're familiar with the previous software, which I'm not that familiar with, I've got to be honest, you probably would know straight away that you hit this wave up here. So you'd be in grid, you hit wave, and then suddenly you can see you have the option to add your tail. I want to do it to every single pad. So if I hit all here and just literally, I think 100 milliseconds is the default on MPCs. And that has just added, you see what goes back on itself a little bit? That just adds that tail and just makes things sound smoother. Okay, so let's come back out again, go back into grid. Now, this is another nice little handy thing. So I've got my beat in there. Now, if you've watched me chop up beats, what I quite often like to do is I'll chop the break up in eighths. I will write the drum, I will write it in so that it plays it exactly as it is as a loop. And then I will add certain bits, like I'd add a little ghost snare or a little extra hi-hat or a ghost kick drum or something. And normally on the MPC, you would hit copy and the screen will come up and then you would pick the pad and then you would pick where you want the pad to go and then you would hit, and it will hit OK and it will then copy it. On the software, really, really easy. On a PC, it's Alt key, ALT. Hold down Alt, click the pad. Let's take that one. Hold down Alt, drag. There you go, simple as that. And you can just do that all day long. Hold down Alt, and it's just undo. Okay. So, and then what I can do is, actually, sorry, let's just go back into there. Yeah. Because I'm on that one now and I want to make it into an extra snare drum, I could just bring that back so it's just the snare. I want to get rid of the tail on that one. Make sure you do that, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. If I'd have changed that tail with that all on, it would have done it to everything. Okay, and I want that in poly, that one. So, you know, you can see basically you can just write in another snare drum if you want. So that'd be that one on, and I can write that in. Let's just stick it in there, put that in the wrong place. Marquee tool, move that up. Bring down the velocity a little bit. Hit P again for pen, stick one in there. That one there sounds a little bit it's not quite right. So I'm going to take off time correct, hitting 0, and now just nudge that with the arrow keys. So there you have it. Very, very quick demonstration of chopping a beat in just the software, no MPC. So if you're sat on the train, or you're on your way home from work, or you're just sitting on the sofa with your laptop, or you don't own an MPC, or you just don't really feel like touching your MPC, you can still chop things up. It's still, obviously you don't have the rubber pads, but it's still hands-on, and it's super fast, super easy. This is not a battle between what's faster, what's easier, but I just wanted to get across. I love writing beats on my MPC, but I do also love writing beats that way. And it's really, really easy and quick on the software. Simple as that. So thanks for watching. This is the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. Till next time.